Hello my dear students, welcome back to your favorite channel NEET World. This is Vasavi Ma'am, your biology educator. Yes, so students, in the last session we have done completely the human digestive system. We have discussed each and every part in the human digestive system, my dear students. Okay, so coming towards the today's particular session, we are going to discuss about the digestion in ruminants. Okay, so how the digestion process is going to take place in the ruminants. So that we are going to learn in the today's particular session. Yes, all the students please stay tuned until the session gets end, my dear students. Yes. So, yes, when we talk about the digestion in ruminants, okay, so there are mainly 4 main parts, my dear students. Okay, so there are 4 main different parts in the ruminants. Okay, so the ruminants are nothing but these are the herbivores which are going to eat the plants. Okay, so these are usually the herbivores which are going to eat the plants. Okay, so in these herbivores the digestive system has been divided into 4 main different parts. Okay, so what are they in the sense? Yes, so rumen, and next one reticulum, and next yes abomasum and omasum. Okay, so these are 4 main different types of yes, so these are 4 main different parts of the digestive system in the ruminants. Okay, so when we have discussed about the human digestive system, we have learned about the mouth, buccal cavity, alimentary canal, and the next one stomach, small intestine, large intestine, liver, pancreas, each and everything, right my dear students. So same in that way the digestive system here is also going to have 4 main parts. So those are rumen, and one will be the reticulum, next abomasum and omasum. Okay, so clear? So now whenever this cow is going to eat, okay, so during the grazing process, whenever it is going to eat the plants, okay, so the plants are mainly it is going to contain cellulose, right? So as we are the human beings, we cannot eat the plants and we cannot digest. Okay, so we cannot digest the cellulose present inside the plants, right? But here as these are the ruminants, they have the capacity to digest the cellulose present inside the plants. Okay, so to digest the cellulose, as they are going to eat all the plants, okay, so the plants are mainly going to contain the cellulose. So these ruminant animals, okay, so these animals are going to contain the main bacteria. Okay, so it is going to contain one anaerobic bacteria which is especially involved in digestion of cellulose, my dear students. Okay, so in our human beings, in our body, in our digestive system, we doesn't have the bacteria which is going to digest the cellulose, right? But in these animals it is going to have the anaerobic bacteria which is going to secrete the enzyme called as cellulase. Okay, so that cellulose, with the help of that cellulase, it is going to digest the cellulose present inside the plants. Okay, so clear? So whenever this yes, okay, so whenever this cow is going to eat the plants, okay, so the food gets partially digested. Okay, so the food is going to pass with the help of the esophagus. Okay, after the mastication and after chewing, immediately it is going to pass into the esophagus, and here it is going to be digested partially, my dear students. Okay, so complete digestion is not going to take place, but at the region of the esophagus and at the region of this reticulum, the food is going to be digested partially, and that partially digested food is called as curd, my dear students. Okay, okay, not curd, it is called as curd. Okay, so the partially digested semi-solid food, that is called as the curd, isn't it? So the complete digestion, okay, so the complete digestion process is going to take place at 4 main regions. Okay, so the curd, okay, so the curd, the partially digested food, first it is going to reach to the reticulum. Okay, so first the partially digested food, it is going to reach to the reticulum, and from the reticulum it is going to pass into the rumen. Okay, so from the reticulum it is going to pass into the rumen, and from the rumen it is going to reach into the abomasum and omasum. Okay, so the complete digestion is going to take place at the omasum. Okay, and the small intestine is also involved. Okay, if you look into these particular image properly, then you will understand, my dear students. Okay. So, once again I am explaining to all of you, just look into the slide here. Okay. So, this is the cow, it is a ruminant animal. Okay. So, here whenever it is going to eat, okay, whenever it is going to eat the grass or plants, so immediately the food is going to be sent into the stomach. Okay. So, the food is going to pass with the help of the esophagus. As it is eating the plants is going to contain the cellulose, right. So, this animal, okay, so these animals have the capacity to digest the cellulose, because in these animals, in the digestive system of the ruminants, they have the anaerobic bacteria which is involved in breakdown of the cellulose, and the bacteria is also involved in the digestion process of the cellulose. Okay. So, because we does not have the anaerobic bacteria which will be helpful to digest the cellulose, so we cannot directly eat the plants. Okay. So, we cannot digest it. Okay. So, whenever the food, okay, whenever the plants, whatever this is going to eat, it is going to pass with the help of the esophagus, and here the food is going to be digested partially, my dear students. Okay. So, the partially digested food is called as the curd. Okay. So, same how the semi-solid ball like structure food in our human beings, it is called as what, my dear students? Bolus, right. So, same in that way here the partially digested food is called as the curd. Okay. So, from here, so from the esophagus it reaches into the lumen, okay, not lumen, it is going to reach, the curd is going to reach into the rumen. From the rumen it enters into the small intestine, and the complete digestion process will takes place in the Abomasum. Okay. And next one, yes, from the Abomasum, Omasum and Reticulum, my dear students. Okay. So, these are the 4 main parts where the food is going to be digested inside the stomach of the ruminant animals, that is nothing but the cow, goat. Okay. Yes. So, clear with this, my dear students? Yes. So, now we will understand about the few more interesting topics. Those are nothing but, yes, diarrhea and ORT. Okay. So, diarrhea, what is diarrhea actually, and what is ORT, oral rehydration therapy. Okay. So, what it is actually, let us have a look on this. Yes. So, once if we have done with this particular topic, then the first chapter, nutrition in animals, it is going to be done, my dear students. Okay. Yes. So, what is diarrhea? Okay. What is diarrhea, my dear students? So, diarrhea is nothing but the condition of passing stools in a day approximately 3 to 4 times. Okay. So, in one day, okay, in a day approximately 3 to 4, 5 times whenever we are going to pass the stools with the loose liquid form, then that particular conditions is usually called as, yes, diarrhea. Okay. So, clear? So, it is mainly caused, why the diarrhea is going to be caused? It is caused due to an infection of the bacteria. Okay. So, whenever we are going to take the improper hygienic food, at that particular time our digestive system is going to be affected, and sometimes there are some bacteria which will lead the condition to the diarrhea. Okay. So, diarrhea is nothing but just passing the loose liquid type of stools approximately 4 to 5 times in a day. Okay. So, if we look into the spreads, okay, so if we look into the mode of infection, how it is going to spread actually, in the sense it spreads through contaminated, unclean or polluted water. Okay. So, this will be the major reason, my dear students. Okay. So, always so my suggestion to all of you is, so during the rainy season, okay, so in the rainy season always try to boil the water and drink, my dear students. Okay. So, that will be helpful to prevent you from the diarrhea. Okay. So, always drink. Okay. So, the mainly it is going to spread through the contaminated, unclean or the polluted water, and sometimes yes, improper hygienic food and poor hygienic conditions. Okay. So, it is very common in India. Okay. So, the diarrhea condition, the diarrhea disease, it is okay. So, the diarrhea is more yes. So, it is more common in the India. Okay. So, why it is mostly common, in the sense due to the lack of proper hygiene and poverty. Okay. So, due to the lack of proper hygienic food, proper hygienic water. Okay. So, due to the improper hygienic conditions, these particular diarrhea, it is going to be affected mostly in India only. Okay. And next one, it leads to loss of fluids. Okay. So during diarrhea, whenever we are going to pass approximately 4 to 5 times of stools in a day, so at that particular conditions, what happens in the sense, my dear students, it leads to loss of fluids from the body. Okay, so that loss of water or else the loss of any types of fluids from our body, that is called as dehydration. Okay, dehydration is nothing but the loss of fluids from our body. Okay, so to prevent from the dehydration, what we need to do? Okay, so to prevent from the dehydration, we need to take the ORS. Okay, see here, the patient should be rehydrated. Okay, so actually the diarrhea leads to the dehydration process, right? So again we need to rehydrate, our body. Okay, so to rehydrate our body, what we need to consume and what we need to take? Okay, so the patient who has been affected with the diarrhea, that patient has to be rehydrated by giving the solution called as ORS. Okay, oral rehydration salts. Okay, so this ORS is a mixture of drinking water. Okay, so the ORS is nothing but it is a mixture of the drinking water, sugar and salt. Okay, so which can be easily prepared at home also, isn't it, my dear students? So there is nothing to be worried and nothing to be panicked. So whenever you have been affected by the diarrhea, so easily you can take the ORS solution. Okay, so it is simply the mixture of the normal so it is nothing but the water, it is a mixture of water, sugar and the salt. Okay, so by consuming this type of ORS solution, easily your body is going to be rehydrated again. Yes, yes. So next one, have a look here, my dear students, key measures to prevent the diarrhea. Okay, so what are the preventative measures that we can take to prevent the diarrhea? Okay, so that is nothing but access to safe drinking water. Okay, yes students, so as I have said to all of you that always in the rainy season, okay, not only in the rainy season, if possible daily try to drink the lukewarm water. Okay, so daily try to boil the water. Okay, so daily try to drink the hot boiled or else lukewarm water. Okay, so by that you may be prevented from affecting with the diarrhea. And next one, improved sanitation. Okay, improved sanitation in the sense always maintain proper hygienic food, and the next one, always try to keep your surroundings very clean. Okay, so that chance is going to be helpful for you to enter for the entry of the bacteria. Okay, so whenever you are going to keep your surroundings clean, then you may not be affected by any bacteria that may enter into your stomach. Okay, next one, personal and food hygiene. Okay, so always try to wash the vegetables, wash the fruits. Okay, always try to wash the vegetables and fruits and the next consume it. Education about how infections spread. Okay, so you also need to know. Okay, so in every school these particular so this particular seminar has also should be conducted on how the diarrhea is going to be spread and what are the main precautions, how we need to give a proper hygienic food to the students, and these all precautions we need to suggest to all of you. Okay, so you also need to have a few knowledge on how it is going to spread and how we need to take care of our body and how we need to keep the surroundings clean. Okay, so this will be helpful mostly to all of you, my dear students. So try to follow these preventative key measures. Okay, yes. Next one, ORT. Okay, what is ORT? Oral rehydration therapy. Okay, oral rehydration therapy is nothing but, see here, it is a type of fluid replacement used as a treatment. Okay, just now as I have said to all of you, so the person who has affected with the diarrhea, mainly the dehydration is going to occur, right? So generally the diarrhea patient is going to be affected with the dehydration. Okay, so to prevent the dehydration, we need to give the treatment by giving the patient ORS. Okay, so that ORS is a solution. Okay, so that is nothing but ORT treatment. Okay, oral rehydration treatment. How we can give the oral rehydration treatment? By giving the oral rehydration salt. So by this the person is going to be rehydrated again. Okay, so it involves drinking water mixed with sugar and salt while continuing to eat. Okay, So after eating the food and before eating the food, you can take the ORS. Okay, so ORT is nothing but the oral rehydration treatment. So this is very easy, my dear students, no need to be panic at all. So oral rehydration treatment is nothing but giving the ORS, giving the oral rehydration salts to become dehydrated, to become the rehydrated for the patient's body. Okay. Yes, next one, when dehydration is severe, therapy includes supplemental zinc also. Okay. So even though if you have taken the ORS, even though if the diarrhea and if the dehydration process is continued severely, then you need to take the zinc supplements. Okay. So this is going to be helpful to all of you to prevent from the diarrhea, right. So this is all about the digestive system in the ruminants, as well as this is about the, yes, so this is about a common disorder, sorry, it is just about the common disease, that is nothing but the diarrhea. Okay. So by this session, the first lesson, nutrition in animals, has been completed, my dear students. So next, in the next session, we are going to learn few most important NCERT exemplar question and answers from this particular chapter, and I am also going to explain you few case based questions also. Okay. So please stay tuned with the new YouTube channel NEET World. Like, share and subscribe.